What's good, family? Queen Common Sense coming back to you from the Chi Town Holding It Down remix to the sticks. I was just reviewing some more older season 6 footage with Kimmy. So Kimmy just gets under my skin. I hope everybody doing well out there. I hope everybody's well, safe, rested, healthy, and happy, and trying to be as stress free as possible. But yeah, I was just, wanted to come back about Miss Kimmy here. I like to analyze things closely because I believe in truth and honesty, especially when it comes to the girl code, when you have friends and trying to elevate and evolve to the next level in your career, your greatness in your life period, especially healing from toxic narcissistic abuse. Now, we all know Miss Melanie Cherie is glowing up and moving on up and truly living up to who she is supposed to be, standing in her power, standing on business. Right. But I was looking at Kimmy and it kind of bothered me a while back. And I couldn't really speak on it. When Kimmy had the nerve and the unmitigated gall to ask Melody why she was not invited to the name change ceremony. Right. And women like Kimmy, they're especially annoying because they ride the fence. I don't like fence riders. When I'm going through my turmoil and troubles, I expect you to hold me down in righteousness. If I'm not in line with what's righteous, then I expect my girls to come correct me and check me on that and keep me standing on business. If I am being ganged up on, I expect my girls to come have my back and come to my defense in righteousness. Kimmy can't seem to make up which side of the fence she want to ride on because Kimmy is all about Kimmy. She's not about the girls. She's not a girl's girl. Now we all know this, right? But I was watching that clip again where Mel had to get with Kimmy real quick about her name change. And Kimmy made this big long soliloquy about how it mattered to her, to have the same last name as her children. Then, when she got married to Maurice, she put her last name as her middle name and then put Maurice's last name um, as her last name. And then she went on about some stereotypical stuff about how, she didn't want people to think that, she was just a baby mama and they just assume that your children don't have the same daddy if they don't have your same last name and all this crap circle talking nonsense, that she went on about to I don't know if she was trying to level herself up to importance with Melody to justify why, she felt it was important to express her opinion about why she shuffled her names around and Melody checked her um, and pointed out that Kimmy and her son don't have the same last name anymore. And then there was a couple other times before that in earlier seasons where Kimmy was capping. It was like she was like all 10 toes down for Mel and, asking all kind of very private, intimate, intrusive questions about the infidelity, you know. And Melody seemed like she'd been checking Kimmy the entire time throughout this whole process. And one thing about Kimmy that stands out is she seems to be low key afraid of what her husband and Scott 1.0 will say and do to her behind the scenes if she don't ride with them blindly regarding anything concerning the former Holt marriage, the current situation with where Melody is and the legal issues, very serious allegations of abuse uh, of the Eminem kids by their father. and use that term father loosely. Okay. Now, Kimmy is a capper. They go hard for you. They 10 toes down. It's like, oh my God, are you okay? And it's really just to compare herself and her own situation to someone else who she esteems higher than herself on the social status, financial status, or whatever. Now, Kimmy is clearly a follower because she allowed Maurice to manipulate her out of her passion, of her nursing career to go into real estate. And now she is not receiving the support and the backing from her husband that she thought she would after walking away from her career as a nurse of what, 20 something years, I believe she said, 20 plus years. So to me, it's all cap when it comes to Melody and her wanting to know why she was not invited to the name changing ceremony. And um I just couldn't believe, she was shocked behind that. And Melody has made it very clear to Kimmy throughout the entire time now that she felt unsupported at certain times that were very, very difficult for Melody during her separation, divorce, and what led them to the current situation now, where Melody got to put her red bottom on her ex husband's neck because he is terrorizing, allegedly, and in my opinion, their children that they have together. And we all know it's been said, it's obvious that if coleslaw side chick, bird brain, duck face is present and always, with Martell Hotel Holiday Inn, she has bore witness to a lot of this alleged abuse and torment of these minor children. And it is really unfortunate, sick, and disgusting that any mother can stand by and watch any of this happen. Now, Kimmy, we're going to talk about Kimmy here because I got a little clip here that I want to show a little portion of how, Mel made it very abundantly clear, how it has been very difficult for her to give Martell another chance at this point. This was during um where Melody was like, I'm done. She had decided that it's over. I'm filing. We not doing this no more. I gave you too many chances, more chances than you deserve. And it almost seems to me in this clip, in hindsight, that Kimmy is trying to almost talk Mel into changing her decision in divorcing Martell. And then as the conversation progresses, she hops the fence again and decides, well, how many more chances I had to go, and just let's check this out and see. And you'll see what I mean by, you know, riding the fence, hopping the fence. I can't stand fence riding, hole hopping, double clutching, reprobate minded, Jezebel, male identified females like Kimmy. So let's check this one out. Okay. And this is a conversation that they're having at the dinner table, Melody and Kimmy. And Kimmy is doing her normal fugazi check-in on Mel. And I thought it was disingenuous in the moment when this particular season episode aired, and it just further exacerbates my disdain for Kimmy and women like her because it's enough heartbreak and heartache to go through to have to sever your family in half and share your children and co-parent with a raving lunatic, but to have these fair weather friends hovering around just to glean energy from you to say, oh, well, look at her, you know, um, yeah, Melody is a superstar, but look at what she's going through. At least I'm not going through that with mine. The delusional kind of, compare and contrast that a lot of jealous women do when they see someone who they feel has more has more star quality and star power to do. Kimmi is just really insecure, low key, and she's like a covert type of hater, you know? So let's check this out here real quick. And check out this conversation with Kimmi and checking in with Mel and how Mel shut that shit down right away. Let's go.
Went off eventually. Were y'all there like for the shoot day?
Well, girl, listen, let me tell you. So Martell and I had a little conversation. Yeah.
Do you feel like it was an honest conversation to where y'all can move forward?
I'm not
surprised to hear is try to be there for Mel. Do you feel like he's done it more than one time?
Yeah.
What would make that like well up in you to think that he
Well, I harp a lot on female intuition.
Oh, I agree. That
and it is real. Because I think back to all the time that I had that intuition gut feeling and I pushed it aside only to find out my intuition was right.
But even talking to you now, you seem fairly calm. Like you weren't angry. Like I would flip my lid. I am telling you, I would flip out. And Maurice knows I would flip out.
Well, see, here's the thing. I've already done the crying. I've already felt the depression. I've already had the anger. Once you've done that so many times,
how many times does he get?
Oh no, he don't get no more time.
How many?
See, this is what I'm talking about. You know, the clueless, the deliberate, purposeful ignorance and dingbat mentality. It's like whether it's one time, 100 times, or whatever, it's up to the wife. It's up to Melody to decide when she's had enough, right? Kimmi clearly has never really had a committed relationship long term. We all see that she was once a side chick who had a baby by a dude. She never wants to elaborate on that situation surrounding her own son, Jaden, right? Jalen, my bad, and how that conception came about with his father, right? But she's all up in the mix in the Kool-Aid with Melody, trying to figure out, well, how many times? When is it enough? Now, but for that, she's saying, well, what makes you think it was more than once? One time is too many, clearly. Clearly, one time is too many. That's why she forgave him and gave him a chance to turn it around and stop the infidelity that ruined the whole family. Okay?
Times. Well, in a year and a half, I caught him talking to her 4 times.
How do you do that?
I think that until you're in that place, you never know.
I'm going through a lot right now, so it's nice to have Kimmi as a friend that I can confide in. I wish she had have kind of reached out to me back when she found out he was cheating on me, when I really, really, really needed a friend.
You know why she didn't reach out to you while he was cheating on you, Mel? And I love you. Because she knew. She knew, and she didn't want to be the one. She's too much of a coward punk to tell you that he was cheating. Yet she said if she was not okay with knowing that Maurice stayed at the event or at the venue or wherever it was that Coleslaw, Martell, and all the other side chicks was at, and the linebackers and all that with the Georgia trip, right? So that's why, because she's a coward. She's not a true friend, clearly, as we see it unfold today. Fast forward to now. She wasn't a true friend then, and she wasn't a true friend now. She just wanted something to make herself feel better about the low, no count, no good, self-centered, narcissistic, covert narcissist her own husband is. Now, let's go.
But, hey, better late than never, right?
Kimmi, I wasn't hearing from you while I was going through all of this.
No, we don't talk a lot. So it didn't seem as genuine to just out and call you like, and want to know your business.
Not necessarily you calling being in my business, but even just like, hey Mel, listen, I know you're going through something. I just want you to know that if you ever need someone to vent to, I am here and I am praying for you. And that never happened. And
I did text you and I said to you, I'm really sorry about what you're going through. And if I can help, then, feel free.
Kimmi did reach out via a text message. And to be honest, this kind of situation is more like pick up the phone, girl, and call me. You know what I'm saying? Texting me kind of feels like you don't really care.
You always kind of look like.
Thank you. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why a lot of people are really, really fuming with Mel because she is a straight shooter. And like she said in her song, I didn't come to play with you hoes. Okay. All y'all can get it. Anybody can get it. But Mel has always been a straight shooter, and that resonates with me. Why? Because I'm a straight shooter, and when women like this, like Kimmi, give me the tiptoe tap dance bullshit that she do, I'm done. That right there, I don't have to go off. I don't have to insult you or be rude. I'm just not gonna with you no more. You feel me? And it just it's really sickening. It makes me sick to my stomach and the hairs on the back of my neck begin to stand up with women like Kimmi because it's like she's floundering. She's always flapping in the breeze. Whichever the way the wind goes, that's the way she goes. Whatever team is winning, that's the team that she want to jump to and jump on and follow.
Like you got it all together and that you all in your zone and if that's how you felt because I would have never thought that that's how you felt honestly. Are you good?
You would have never thought that that's how Mel felt because you are a weak whack Cappin Jezebel side chick yourself. And when you never let them see you sweat, especially when you're going through something this serious, and she got 4 children to take care of, she got to make a very huge decision about if she gonna stay in this jacked up from the flow up marriage that her soon to be ex-husband done single-handedly ruined, work, still maintain her sanity, her health, remember to eat. Sometimes when you're going through things like this, you don't even want to get up out the bed and take a shower, let alone. You need a little bit of motivation. It's nice to have your friend girls and your sister friends around to say, look, mama, look, I know you hurt, right? But your babies need you. We need you. The world needs you to live up to your purpose. Now, I'm going to come over there and I'm gonna help you get everything squared away. We're gonna get these babies off to school, make sure you straight, and then you call me tonight when you get home. And we're gonna talk and I'm gonna check in, do a wellness check on you to see how you doing, how your day went. Kimmi didn't give a about Mel. She wanted to revel and bask in the fact that Mel was doing worse than her in some way, shape, or form. Okay, that's all that is. Cause Kimmi know her husband ain't shit. Let's go.
How are you today? Like, are you
Yeah,
good?
today I'm good.
So it's like
Thank
a
you for
day by day
asking.
thing. You're welcome.
I really appreciate this dinner with Kimmi because it really shows how far our friendship has come.
There we go. Mel is just so gracious, and I again, her spirit and her flyness, her directness really resonates with me, and the fact that she is who she is. What you see is what you get, and this is what it is. And I'm not perfect. I don't know everything, but I'm willing to get in there and learn and be open to have open dialogue. She's just so gracious because she could have went the hell in on Melody. All right, now here's another clip, a piece of it, from uh, another episode that I want to show you because they were having a discussion here, right? And the discussion was getting in depth about, how difficult melodies find the right little time marker because these ads are like mosquitoes, y'all. But yeah, they're over here talking on this particular episode. Kimmy and Maurice are talking about how after the discussion, and dinner uh, that Mel and Kimmy had, where Mel expressed herself that, I feel like you really didn't have my back when it was fresh, when it first popped, and he exposed himself and got busted and disgusted and laid out to dry. Okay, here we go. Let's take a peek where she's talking to her husband about the honeymoon they didn't take yet, and so on and so forth, right? But then she merges over into the subject of how Mel had to gently check her at the dinner table about not having her back. So let's go. Let's have a peek at this one, right? And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you the whatnot on it and the rundown, hold down on it, because I just really am very disgusted by Kimmy. I started off first season, episode 1. I was digging Kimmy. We had the whole nurse thing in common, and then second episode on down, she just came off as a hood booger to me. Now that's just my opinion. A fancy hood booger. Let's go. Let's check this out.
Stop it, babe. That's not the honeymoon. But we do need to talk about the honeymoon.
So when are we trying to plan a honeymoon, sweetheart?
You have a honeymoon after you have a wedding. I want to do it like next month.
Huh? Who just says, you know what? Let's just pop up with a honeymoon next month.
Because it's the summer. I really would like to do it before the kids get back.
Sweetheart, you know I'm in school. Right?
After school, then it's gonna be you opening up the new part of your business. Then after the new
No.
part of your business, yes, it is.
Listen, you're my priority.
Babe, that's not true.
What do you think I prioritize higher than you?
Everything. My babe has a tendency to put stuff off. So I just don't want it to get put off and then kind of get dropped by the wayside is all. So that it doesn't.
And you knew that when you married him, right? You knew that you was secondary to whatever it was he wanted to do. You was a come up for him, Kimmy, in my opinion. Okay, he needed to level up, because Kyle was done with his ass, and for a little hot minute, he was whispering in Kiowa's ear about, a possible reconciliation because Maurice hustled backwards. We see that, right? Maurice hustles backwards. And he needed some stability. He needed to get off his buddy's couch, sleeping on the couch and on air mattresses and in back rooms and storage closets and shit. And he wanted to get his falsetto lifestyle back. He wanted to, pump fake it until he make it, and needed somebody to fund his life, because that's what the fuck is going on here, in my opinion. Is Kimmy was Maurice's come up, and a lot of times men do that when they have been aired out by their first wife. Then they have to rebound, because as we all know, he can't keep his zipper up, and he is a 14-year-old emotionally, in my opinion. Let's go.
Did you know Melody was having talked a little bit about her situation, and she felt like I wasn't there for her.
Kimmy, I wasn't hearing from you while I was going through all of this. I did text you. You always kind of look like you got it all.
As if that's an excuse. You always look like you got it all together. I can't stand when people say that. I can't stand that. Do you think I'm gonna be walking around here looking like a disheveled, hot ass mess, and having my kids worried and all scared and terrified and stressed out and anxiety? I have to keep it all together, especially now because we possibly might have to co-parent our children who we love dearly. Okay, over us a damn hood booger side chick with no direction, no purpose, who's still pining after a married man. Okay, Let's go.
Why don't you think? What do you think's going on? Why we haven't heard from them? The Holtz.
I really don't know why. For us in particular, the group, I understand we have not had a meeting of the minds.
Right.
And in not having a meeting of the minds, personal comments, emotions, and feelings come out that make the situation a little more tenuous.
Martell and Melody, they've been working on the houses. We've been driving by and seeing some improvement as far as the houses are concerned. And we still don't know where we lie as far as the comeback group is concerned.
I'm going to the Mela Mimosa event, so maybe when I see her at the event, it'll kind of give us some headway into why they've been MIA. So I wanted to go, show my face.
Is it just me? Or is Kimmi just a dunce? Like, is she just slow? She just real slow? She just had dinner with Mel and she said clearly why she has not been communicating with anybody because of what her current family status is experiencing with a chronic narcissistic cheater, an abusive, verbally, mentally, and emotionally, financially abusive spouse at that time. Let's go.
When you say show your face, are you going to call her before you just show your face?
Why call?
Because you can let her know up front. Yeah. They're thinking you should call too.
After Martell's surgery, I feel like things were going in the right direction. We weren't having any major issues at all and enjoying each other, making sure we were spending time together. And then we were headed out of town. And while we were headed out of town, he had a phone call to come through. No number showed up, a blocked phone call. So I answered the phone. There's this chick on the phone.
And we all know what chick that were. Okay. Now let's move to the next one because I want to show you how facetious and how envious and jealous Kimmi is after it's all said and done, right? The Melody is clearly divorced at this point. She is working on herself, trying to protect her babies, leveling up, bossing up, standing on business, and just getting to the bag. Okay, so they come meet up again after, all the kumbaya failed attempts Kimmi tried to make to get her and Melody and Tisha to get along. They done fell out, got back together, fell out, got Melody was like, no, I'm finna move around. That's a personal problem. Can't nobody get through the thick-headed Tisha. Okay, I tried to give her some constructive criticism about the Expo, right? She done accused me 150,000 times of trying to ruin her marriage. I'm done. So I see where my true friends are. I just threw them chips up in the air and let them fall and hit dogs holler. Okay, let's check this out now. This is where Melody G-checked Kimmi. Let's go. And shout out to this content creator too, because I couldn't find the one on OWN network. So shout out to this content creator here who provided this clip and her own commentary on it. Reviews and recaps. Sorry about the ads, y'all. This is just really, yeah. We're gonna let that rock out. Is really slow. And at that big age, she's the same age as I am, and since season, supposedly in life, allegedly, to be so damn slow. Okay. Comes to her girlfriends. Check this out. Shout out to reviews and recaps. And it refreshed on me. Sorry, y'all. It's kind of storming here, so my internet is really acting stupid.
got married, I moved my last name to my middle name.
Okay.
A lot of it was just in my head for having children. I never really wanted to be that in that stereotype where your kids go to school and they're like, "What's your last name?" And they're like, "Grant." What's your mama last name? Scott. As African Americans, I think a lot of times where your kids don't have your mama's last name, and I think it's tragic. That just mattered, like to me.
You mean being baby mamas and not having the last name?
Did you see Tisha's face?
Exactly. Tisha was sitting over there with her Cheshire cat looking eating grin, and Melody sitting over here like, oh boy, let me just let this rock out. Let me let her continue to shove her high heel down her own throat, put her foot in her mouth. Kimmy just is just ugh. Let's go.
Smiling ear to ear, Annie. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, I'm going to play this clip for you.
Not been married. You and Jalen technically don't have the same last name anymore.
I got married.
Could kill, guys. If looks could kill.
Exactly. And again, shout out to reviews and recaps. Just the sneer, the displeasure of being put in her place. Kimmy is delusional, yo. And I can't delusional women are dangerous. And she's stealth with it. She has practiced this for so long. I don't think she even realized that she is a snake and how nasty and vindictive and facetious she can be with the comments, especially directed towards Mel. I believe Kimmy is low key afraid of Tisha, right? And I believe that because Kimmy knows what really went down behind the scenes before the divorce, she don't want that to get out. Because I know, just like everybody else know that's watching with two eyes and common sense, knows that Kimmy, Maurice, all them knew that what Martell was doing, exactly what he was doing before he got caught. Okay? So this is the pièce de résistance for me. Now, call me mean, call me evil, call me whatever, but karma is real and karma is a mofo. All right. This is a little clip with Kimmy talking to her husband again, to Momo, that she felt unprotected, and rightfully so, because he, again, they like the pioneers are putting their foot in their mouth. They just say some of the most backwards, awkward crap. And I don't think the translation of sound from their lips to their ears really is successful, because you don't listen to what you say yourself. You just talking just to hear yourself talk because you think it might sound good, putting a band-aid over a bullet hole. Then that's another thing when you are presented with what you said word for word. You want to rewrite history and recreate the narrative and gaslight. And Kimmy, I don't even think she realizes that's what she does. So let's move on to this next little clip, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. And hopefully you enjoy this little commentary. And I'm gonna come back with a few little other things too. I got a good story that I want to talk about a little bit later. I might come back today and do that. Here we go. This is Kimmy and Maurice. And she's expressing to her Johnny come lately about how
Women
he
over
needs
55 are
sex versus took the rest of her credibility away for those that on the late train. Okay. Women being sisters, straightening up and polishing up each other's crown, being truly down. You don't have to be tight. You don't have to be best friends. You don't have to have, a tight connection. It's just about compassion for me. You're a woman. You know how a woman woman would feel if you were, to me, this is when Maurice
All of that
did that
foolishness that
interview
you
and made
felt
her look
like was
retarded.
no big deal at one particular time has blossomed into a big deal. Because my husband has all over the internet about having sex with his wife. Cancer.
Kimmy is doing is admirable her through it. I look at it as her standing by me while I'm
Sure, you know, and for Kimmy to have been a seasoned professional in the medical field, gone through all that strenuous studying, worked her way up to tenure as a nurse she is, as a professional, skilled, sophisticated professional, to marry somebody like this with such emotional immaturity. We all know how she hooked him in. It was all with sex. She threw it at him. She kept throwing it in a circle, backing that up, twerking. It's all about aesthetics with her. That's how she got the attention of this much younger man and was able to reel him in with her behind the bedroom skills. You know, she turned Maurice out.
It doesn't protect me. And now I have to answer questions from my mother.
Yeah, I didn't think about the collateral damage. To me, it was like if I just apologize to my wife.
So now you got to apologize to my mother.
Maurice owes my family an apology. More so because a lot of times he'll have this perspective of it was a joke or I was trying to be funny, and it did not land at all. It had collateral damage. The collateral damage is my family having to go through the turmoil of making heads or tails of what's really happening at that house. And my mama don't play that.
This is what the therapist said. 5 minutes. We've literally talked for about 20. So see, this is 2. That shouldn't get your heart rate up.
Let's see.
There you go. Karma is real, Kimmy. And this is kind of what you get for taking pleasure and silently giggling and sniggling behind Mel's back about her very painful, very, very, very public, very, very embarrassing and humiliating stint with this monster who you keep defending, who is now thankfully her ex-husband. And you ought to be ashamed of yourself, because not only are you a mother and a woman, you proclaim to be a sister, a friend, a person who, wants to stand for, principles, morals, and you preaching about how you didn't want to, promote a stereotype about your child not having the same last name, so that automatically means you're not you're a baby mama because y'all don't have the same last name as your child. It's just whack to me, all of it, all the way across the board. Kimmy is nauseating to me. She's a dingbat, and I really am very embarrassed because the peers in my age group, a lot of them I have met a lot like Kimmy. A lot of them. They're still very scattered on if they want to be a grown up or if they want to still be a mean girl, high school, little co ed, little Barbie dingbat doorknob where everybody gets a turn. That's just what I get from Kimmy, that she hasn't really evolved from the high school college mentality, the emotional and mental maturity of a 50 something year old woman who's married with an adult son, you know. And now I see why, Jaden was thoroughly upset, while he was sitting talking to Maurice when Kimmy got her initial diagnosis, because Jaden said it and he pretty much snitched. He pretty much dropped a dime on Maurice at that time by saying, when I have never seen my mama cry like that until she got with Maurice. And it wasn't crying happy tears. It's I'm frustrated, I'm pissed off, and you're really getting in on my damn nerves. Okay. I relate to this setup between Maurice and Kimmi because my ex-husband was a lot like Maurice. He had a very unhealthy attraction to PORN, and he had weird, odd fetishes that he would try to hide from me. And I'm not stupid. I know what's going on in my house, and he would try to kind of slide underneath the front door with his hat on and kind of, trick me into being okay with certain things. And it just wasn't coming out the way he wanted it to, and it just severed the rest of what was left of that marriage that we had. So, Kimmy, karma is real. Be careful how what you do, what you think, and be careful of the energy you give off to other women who are going through trials and tribulations and struggles. You and Tisha have had a tit for tat going back and forth with Mel, trying to undermine her, poking fun at her ideas and her growth and her elevation. You are just, in my opinion, jealous because you are not strong enough to put your foot down when you should put it down. And then you want to sit back and be a hypocrite and say, well, how long? How many times is it going to take? She clearly told you, I'm fed up. And she actually did it. So let's see if you got the same kahunas when it comes to putting your foot down and keeping Maurice in check about how he publicly embarrasses and humiliates you over and over and over again. You and Tisha are birds of a feather, in my opinion. So that's that. That's that on that for me today. Kimmy triggers me, yo. Like Kimmy really triggers me. I can't with her. Okay. But I'll be back probably a little bit later. Y'all share this, click like, subscribe, let everybody know I'm over here and I'm ready to drag for another couple of things because I got to get on Miss Wander. Okay, over here threatening people again, flexing, capping, and all that good stuff. So, like the channel, subscribe to the channel. I'm blowing the dust off the channel, and I'm gonna be mixing it up. I'm gonna be doing a whole lot of other things too. So this was a little bit of short one. I couldn't really go in, but I'm gonna go get me something, some brunch, something to eat. Love you. Stay safe. Take care of yourself and each other. Okay. Don't let nobody gaslight you. And if you're not a girl's girl, kick them to the curb. Don't let these type of snakes continue to seep in the queendom of sisterhood. I am my sister's keeper. I'm out.